Yeah, it's going much better. What's up, everybody? What's up, Mr. Stu?
Hey, Mr. Jim.
Your background is much cooler than mine. Your background is much more impressive than mine.
You know, it took me a little time to figure it out, but I needed something new. Just looking at those books behind me in the bookcase, and it was funny because my bookcase was in the middle of my room because I was I was like 180 degrees away, and the bookcase was behind me. So my wife was always like, "Get that bookcase out of the middle of the room."
That's right.
I had
Keeping
it on
her from
rollers
playing
so I
pool.
could move it around, but I never
Wasn't
moved
that interfering with her beer drinking and pool playing or something?
No. But I am looking at the pool table.
There you go.
Right now, it's got a whole bunch of Christmas decorations I haven't put away. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what, here in another couple months, you might as well just leave them out because you're halfway there again.
Well, they're boxed up. They just haven't been put into the Christmas storage area.
Oh, okay. Well,
So,
it is interesting. Everybody talking about COVID and COVID-19 and how much 2020 sucked. I do want to draw everybody's attention to the fact that 2022 is almost a fourth over. I do want to point out the fact that they're at the end of in 1 week, the first quarter of 2022 will be in the books.
it is time to move on, Jim. Time to move on.
Well, I was saying it's just time to get this year in gear. That's my whole point, is that everybody's kind of thinking about what's happened, but this year is almost a quarter over. Is the whole point that I'm trying to make?
I got
my clumsy way.
Well, I will tell you this, Jim. I am crushing this year. 2022 is the year of stew. No, just joking. No, it's going well though.
I gotta look. Okay, hang on. Chinese New Year animals. Okay, if this is the year of stew, then 2022. Oh, excuse me, the tiger. Ooh. This is the year of the tiger.
Okay.
And it's Stu's year. Excuse me.
Tiger King.
I like that. Wow. This is gonna bankrupt me.
Yes.
So I was thinking more like Eye of the Tiger because I know you're a big Rocky fan. I was keep it cool in 80s.
I'm there. I'm with you.
So there you go. Dude, there's a new Creed movie going to be coming out. So Creed is like the new Rocky, which is cool because that was a good movie. Creed was a really good movie.
We need more boxing movies.
Yes, we do. We need more violence in entertainment. Start toughening people up a little bit. So, okay, we lost half our viewers, but that's okay. So what are we talking about today, Stu?
Oh, well, for the Jim and Stu show, I think we're just going to move it right into the podcast, aren't we, this week? Is that something we're thinking about doing this week?
I don't know, Stu. As the podcast manager for the last 155 episodes, I'm going to leave that to you. You tell me what we're doing.
155.
Mm-hmm. We're alive in 2022, the year of Stu.
Yeah. Next week is 156. And you know what that means? That is 3 52-week cycles.
It sure is.
Podcasts. That's 3 years of podcasts.
You are absolutely right. Unfortunately, next week is not happening because I'm taking next week off. So we're going to have to wait 2 weeks to reach that milestone.
Okay. That's all right. We'll do 2 today. All right. So let's talk about content marketing, right?
Okay. All right. What would you like to know?
Well, what did you write down on our show notes, Jim? Because I wrote down some chicken scratch that I can barely read. No, just kidding. So I wrote this down. Like history, story, future goals, content to tell a story, process to success. That was my notes. However, what I wanted to talk about is a very important question. When you are making content, what is the message of your content? Okay. What is the message of your content?
Oh, what's the moral? Like, what's the moral? What's the idea? What's the big idea? What's the message of your message?
Right. You can't just go in there and throw up some content.
Sure you can.
Literally.
Most people do.
Yeah,
That's what most people do.
Just be unfocused. You can, I guess, but you can have it a little more focused on a theme. You can make it more timely with current events. You can, and then how does this content relate to your business, your personality, your audience, your story, history and future?
All right.
So
I love you, but I don't know what the hell you're asking me. I don't know.
Jim, sometimes we should probably take a minute or two before we go live and discuss what we're going to.
We planned this last week. We
I know.
planned it last week, but apparently both of us, over the age of 50, last week could have been last year.
I can't remember what I did yesterday, Jim.
Well, I think the message that I'm getting from your message about messages. Can I go to the board, Stu?
Please do. Save me.
This is where I'm most comfortable, and I think actually, Stu, the message from you like my shirt?
I do.
Nancy designed that, so that's kind of cool, right?
Really?
So, okay, let's break down message. All right, what is the message of your content? And I think we have a bunch of different messages here on a whole bunch of different levels. Okay, so the most obvious one is the moral of your content. What's the whole point? What is the point of the article? What is the point of the listicle? What is the point of the live? What is the point of the quote card? What is the point of the meme? What is the point of this whole thing? Because you're right, a lot of people put a whole bunch of content out there and nobody cares. No, it's in other words, they're just doing it for the sake of doing it. And all that does is make people go, what the heck? What the heck? What's the point? But they're crossing the thing. So you always got to have a message. You always got to have a moral. You always got to have a point. And the message that moral, that point needs to flow very, very smoothly to your call to action. So the message, the moral, the point, the message in your content also has to stoke the right emotion. Okay, you want to get people into the right emotional state. So the message, what's the moral, what's the point, what's all that stuff, okay? So you got to decide ahead of time before you're creating your content, what's the idea I want to get across? A lot of times people are like, well, let me just put some crap down and then and then I'll figure out what it means later. No, you got to figure out the point that you want to make and kind of like an attorney, build your case with whatever the content is. Okay. Now, the second message that you are sending with your content is that, hey, I'm the expert, I'm the authority, or I'm the reporter, or I'm the student. So it's sending the message of where you are relative to the content, where you are relative to the person, where you are just it kind of establishes you on the landscape in this wonderful World Wide Web. All right. And then I think the third message, and this is more subtle, and interestingly enough, I think this is up here when we're talking about the message, obvious versus subtle. And I know this is hard to believe, Stu, but no one has ever accused me of being too subtle. Can you believe that?
I don't.
I know. It's shocking. So the third message that you're sending when you put out good content, you are saying, if you do it correctly, you're saying, I care about you. You actually are saying, you know what? I'm concerned about you and I want to help you reach your goals. I want to help you get the things that you say you want to do, accomplish your goals, solve your problems. I want to help you be a winner. because everybody wants to be a winner. So the big thing, though, the biggest message that you send with your content, if you are, and this is like way down here as far as subtle, but super, super important, is with consistency equals you're dependable. Because there's so many fly-by-night people that just kind of show up in an ad or something, and they show up, they take your money, and they disappear. Whereas when you deliver consistent content, you're sending the message that I'm going to be around for the long haul. I want to develop a relationship with you. I want to be a part of your life. I want to see you be successful. That's why you and I both have people that have been following us for over 2 decades now, each. And you got people been buying us for over 20 years. You realize how hard that is, but it's actually really, really easy. It's really, really easy because if you keep developing and keep delivering that value, you're sending the message that I want to have a relationship with you. So whole bunch of different messages in your content, in the content you put out, and then the way that you deliver it and the consistency with which you do it. So Stu, I think that's what you were asking.
Yes, that is exactly what I was asking, Jim.
Okay.
You did a great job reading my mind.
Okay. What's up, Anna?
I didn't quite put that out very well.
Stephen, David, Justin. I think Stefan's first name is copyright. Justin, Vicky, awesome. So, all right. So that was kind of cool, talking about a little bit of content. One of the other things, if I was going to sum all this up, I would say the biggest reason why you want to do content, or really the 3 biggest reasons why you want to do it: establish yourself as an expert really, really quickly. That would be the first one. The second one is you're able to differentiate yourself really, really fast with your thoughts and just the fact that you're doing it. And then the third one is you're able to build and solidify relationships with people. And in the end, that's what's going to feed you long-term in business, is relationships.
Yeah. And overall, my overall encompassing word for all of that is you remain relevant in your business space.
Ooh, I like that. Isn't that 2 words though? Remain relevant, or you were just going for relevant?
Just relevance. You stay relevant.
R squared with a circle around it.
There you go.
I can't spell remain, but relevant. You know what I've learned with this is that if I don't know how to spell something, I just make it look like I spelled it, but it blurs together and I move on, and no one can figure out that I'm a terrible speller.
That's genius, Jim.
It's a strategy, I know. So anyway,
remain relevant.
That's right.
That's the key. That really is the key to all of the content marketing. If there's a single message that I try to promote, is that I am the old guy in this space compared to some of the new young ones that are out there looking for this, to go on this journey. But I am full of experience and staying relevant with all these hip youngins.
Oh, Stu, that reminds me of something. I had somebody be rude to me on a webinar. Can you believe that? Can you believe someone would be rude on a webinar to me? I know.
Rude?
Rude to me on a webinar. And they asked a very interesting question. They said, do you actually do, or do you just teach?
Ooh.
Oh, snap. That got old Jimbo fired up. Because this is the thing. And it is important.
A lot of people do that.
I understand that. The majority of people do that.
It's a logical question. So it's a little rude question, but it's logical.
Here's how most people do it, all right? They figure something out, and then it's like, okay, this is my thing. And so then what happens is this is their thing, whatever the thing is. And then time keeps on ticking into the future, like the song goes. But see, they never keep up. So things start changing, but they're still teaching their thing. And so that's where you run into a problem. It's not just it's not just the thing, it's the fact that things have changed. So we were talking about, article marketing was the big thing 15, 16, 17 years ago. Article marketing is not article marketing anymore. You don't, the whole strategy, or the whole tactic with that is gone. But if I was still teaching article marketing, would anybody be paying attention? So you have to do exactly what Stu does and what I do. You have to evolve. You have to, and what evolution means is constantly evaluating, is the strategy that I'm doing still working, and are the tactics still valid? Now, I can tell you that strategy will stay the same in a lot of cases, but the tactics can change sometimes on a monthly, but surely yearly or every other yearly basis. Yep. Even if you look at social media, the tactics have changed massively. So I think this is what he was asking in an impolite way is, Jim, have you evolved with the times? And do you actually use this in your business on a practical daily basis so that you're teaching us what's working right now? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. I think I did have a smart alecky comment, though, because I was tired and said something like, Nancy's nodding her head. I said something like, well, I'm doing a couple million a year and I'll eat steak tonight, whether you buy or not. That was probably not the nicest thing to say, but it was kind of, that slipped into old Jim. New Jim, evolved Jim would never.
I get a little punchy sometimes, especially towards the end of the week. If it's towards the end of the week, I'm a little burnt, and I have a lot less patience for stupid questions.
Well, there you go.
But that's what we're human, Jim.
I know, much as I hate to admit it.
And that's how we're going to roll into this podcast.
Oh, we're in the podcast already?
Well, we're not quite there yet. But we basically, looking at my notes, what we just talked about was what we were going to do for the podcast. Right?
Okay.
I think what we had planned to do for the Jim and Stu show is that we were going to talk about content marketing scripts.
Okay.
Maybe even do a content marketing script walkthrough, as I recall.
Okay.
I see that's my notes anyway. However, what I would like to do is I'd like to do a surprise podcast with Jim.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
I'm keeping my clothes on this time. You fooled me back on episode 36. Okay.
All right. I'm just going to say 5 words.
Oh my God. In a row?
5 words. No. Yeah. In a row. You're going to write them down, and then you're going to go off on the topic. Wow.
Okay. Should I be writing them in a line, or is this a list of words, or is this a sentence of words?
It's a list of 5 words, and you can go vertical with it.
All right.
But first, before we get started,
go ahead and do
the podcast intro.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm just that's
kind of nervous, doing these things, and I just kind of throw me off. So, okay, so here we go.
Hey, everybody, Jim Edwards here, and welcome back to the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast. I'm your host, along with my trusty co-host and podcast producer, Mr. Stu Smith. Welcome to the show, Stu.
Thank you, Jim.
This is episode 155. We're alive with 155. I want y'all to realize something, that we have done enough podcasts to do a weekly podcast for 3 years in a row next week.
Yeah. Well, if you take a week off, 51 weeks.
In the ballpark. Okay.
In the ballpark, yeah.
All right. So Stu has a special surprise for us, has totally flipped the script, and we are not doing what we were originally going to do, but are going to do something else. So I'm excited.
And don't worry, Jim. This is not necessarily a hard curveball.
Mhm.
You know, I would even call this one an underhanded pitch softball for you.
Oh, okay. So if I
Okay.
whiff it, then it's even worse. Okay,
Yeah, it's going to
let's
be
do
even worse.
this.
Even worse.
All right.
So
All right.
all I'm going to do, folks, is
Mhm.
just say 5 words,
Mhm.
and Jim has to go off on his Jim teaching ability tangent that he always does
Mhm.
with this whiteboard back there. And so
Okay.
here it is, Jim.
Okay.
Let me
Don't
know if
go
you've heard.
fast.
Let me know if you've heard these words before.
Am I writing these down yet?
Yep, write them down.
Okay.
Let me know if you heard these words before. First word, test.
Okay. All right.
Second word, fail.
Oh my God.
Third word,
Yeah.
learn.
Uh-huh.
Fourth
Uh-huh.
word, improve.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
re-enter.
Okay. I don't know
What
what
do
any
these
of this.
words mean?
I don't know what any of this means.
No, yeah, you do.
So this is actually when I went to IMC, John Maxwell's International Maxwell Certification a couple weeks ago, and this was John Maxwell taught a really valuable lesson talking about how we actually do things, how we actually can get what he called a return on failure. Because most people don't, especially as we get older, you're afraid to try stuff because you're afraid you're going to fail, and you're afraid you're going to fail, and you're going to look dumb. You're going to look stupid. You're going to look foolish. You're going to feel foolish. You're going to waste money. You're going to make a mistake. You're just all these things that could happen. Like when we're a little kid, we'll try anything. It's like, hey, go jump in the deep end of the pool. Yeah, let's go jump in the deep end of the pool. There's a lifeguard. Hey, let's go pick up turtles and snakes and go play in the mud and all this other stuff. And then as you get older, people tell you, no, that was wrong. And so they take away the ability to learn from when you jack something up. And so when I saw this, I immediately said, okay, this totally corresponds to the hero's journey. Because if you think about the hero's journey, all right, I'll give you the abbreviated version. You start out here, nothing's too good, nothing's too bad. And then something happens and you decide to do something. And immediately in a good story, in your favorite Rocky movie, there's conflict. There's a problem. There's something happens where things are not good. And then, for any really good story, things go from bad to worse. They get really bad. And then finally, you hit rock bottom. Okay, this is rock bottom. This is where everything is just jacked up. All right, you're a hobo living on the street, and dogs walking by, peeing on you. Your dog ran away. There's all kinds of just crazy stuff. What's interesting, though, and this is something that you need to realize, is that here at the bottom in the hero's journey, the next step is there's some sort of an event or a person shows up, but then there's another decision. And that decision is, okay, I have hit rock bottom. So the universe never tells you have hit rock bottom in this story. It's the character decides this is rock bottom. Think about it like Gone with the Wind, I'll Never Be Hungry Again. Any of these things, it's like they have the come to Jesus moment. They have whatever. There's a decision that like, I'm not going to fall any further because I don't care. Short of death, it can always be worse. It's like that patch that everybody in Go Ruck has. Say it can always be worse. It can always be worse. We can do burpees.
That's true.
And then what happens is that once that decision is made, then we begin the transformation. And that's where, in a Rocky movie, you see him he's going to fight the Russian guy, and the Russian guy's got the high-tech gym and all this stuff, and Rocky's out there in Siberian tundra lifting trees and getting into shape. Why? Because he made the decision to transform himself. And then there in the hero's journey, there's what's known as the return home. And what the return home means is you basically have reached whatever the goal is that you've set out for yourself. So, like Rocky wanted to beat Apollo, or Rocky wanted to last all 12 rounds with Apollo Creed because nobody had ever done that. So he lasted all 12 rounds. But what happens is, because of this journey, there is an ascension to a higher level. And everybody realizes that, you know what, the character made it to this, but they actually became more. And the whole point of doing all this wasn't to get the thing, but was who you became as a person, because you became a better person. And so this is the hero's journey. This is also your personal journey, and we're all on various hero's journeys throughout our life. And so what I realized was that this return on failure model is actually the hero's journey, but there's one step that I'm adding to this and decided needs to be in there. And I'll share that with you in just a sec. But see, here's the thing. There's a decision. Well, this is where you're going to test. You decide, you know what, I'm going to try. And another word for test would be to try. I've decided I'm going to get in shape. I've decided I'm going to start a new business. I've decided I'm going to write a book. I've decided I'm going to improve my relationship. I've decided I'm going to lose weight. I've decided, okay? Ultimately, there's a decision to try something. And unless we are perfect at something, the very first time we try something, the first time we test something, just by its name, testing means to try something new. That's in the Jim Edwards dictionary. We are immediately going to fail. And it's the adult definition of fail. The adult definition of fail is I tried something, it didn't turn out perfectly the exact way that I visualized it would do when I was doing my affirmations, and I did this and it didn't turn out perfectly, so therefore I failed. And then we go from failure to learn. And let me ask you a question, Stu. Do we learn best when we're in extreme pain and discomfort, or do we learn best when things are great and we're relaxing on the couch?
Well, I can tell you where I learn best is under some duress, for sure.
Some stress, duress, yes. And then you learn. Let me tell you what I learned. This is a true story. I learned the entire military alphabet in one session while in the front leaning rest. We were supposed to know it. I didn't know it. And this kid who had gone through Ranger School, who was a senior, I was a freshman, he put me in the front leaning rest. And I learned the Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, India, Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, November, Oscar, Papa, Romeo, Sierra, Tango, Uniform, Victor, Whiskey, X-Ray, Yankee, Zulu. And I could do it backwards.
Dang.
While in the front leaning rest. I learned it. I'm telling you, Stu, I learned that in like 3 minutes because I was in such pain. And learning happens under duress and with pain. So your greatest learning experiences you ever want to share with people at cocktail parties is from what in the moment seems like the crappiest, hardest, worst experiences of your life. Because when you get together with your buddy, Stu, do y'all talk about, hey, I got a 6-figure business now. In fact, me and my buddy did a launch for my latest book, and I made more money in a day than I made when I was in 02. What do you think of that, fellas? They'd be like, screw you, jackass. No one wants to hear that crap. But everybody wants to talk about what? The hard times.
The hard stuff. Yeah.
The hard stuff. So down here is where all the learning happens. So once you decide that you're going to stop, see, and I'll tell you, this is kind of an aside. A lot of people get caught in this washing machine right here. This is a washing machine of testing, failing, and not learning. So they just recycle over here, over and over and over and over and over again until they make the decision that I'm finally going to learn and I'm finally going to start to improve, because improvement is transformation. It didn't say be perfect. It says improve. I'm going to get better. That says improvement, but let me just knock the end off of that. It says improve instead of improvement. Improve. That's where the transformation happens. And then here's where John's like, and then you re-enter. I disagree. I think there needs to be another step. I think there needs to be a step here called Re-Energize or celebrate. And what I mean by that is when you figure something out, you need to celebrate that. Just like this reinforces what not to do, this will reinforce what to do. Now, you don't want to get caught. A lot of people start celebrating too soon. Other people get caught up in this washing machine where they're like, hey, I accomplished something. I'm going to celebrate this forever. Let me tell you about the time I wrote an article for an e-zine back in 2003. It was amazing. You know, it's you get a little caught in that celebration thing. But you need to celebrate because that's the yin and yang of the learning. And then when you're ready, you re-enter, which means you get back out there and you move on to the next challenge. You climb the next mountain. And so what this is saying is you decide to do something, you try, it's not going to work out. You're going to fail. So the faster you can get to learning, the closer you are to improving, which means that's how you're going to transcend. But if you're all timid over here, like, oh, I'm scared, I might hurt myself. And then when you fail, it's like, oh, it sucks. This is a scam. This is bullcrap. And then you just start, oh, I'll go try something else. And then it's like, oh, I failed a little bit. Let me just keep doing this part without ever getting to the learning. Then that's when you become a bitter know-it-all living in your mother's basement, okay? Or you have a hard drive full of ebooks and courses you've never used. So the thing that this also does is if you think of this like most people's journey through life, through business, through everything, is that everybody's so scared of this, they never try. If they do try, they stop here. But if you can get to the point where you've bottomed out, that's when you should be getting the most excited, because like this is where I'm having a turnaround. This is where everything turns around. And what this also does is this gives you the big picture to see that there's nowhere that you need to climb into a pity pot. Because as soon as you test something, you are actively engaged in the success process. You are actively engaged in your own hero's journey of whatever this aspect is. And the cool thing is that in different areas of our lives, spiritually, financially, relationships-wise, health, all that stuff, we're at different spots in different areas. So you might be sucking hind. You might just not be doing all that great over here in one area. But you can see, you know what? I am like Superman up here, and it's time for me to start building that frame of reference of doing better. And there's one last thing I want to share with you. Now I know you better have some comments. here's what most people think. Most people think that this is success for other people. In other words, they look at like Stu Smith and they're like, okay, look, dude's awesome. He's good looking. He's in good shape. He's got a great business, got the wife, the 2 kids, the whole thing. His life is perfect. His life has been nothing since he was a little tiny baby with a single tooth and a little piece of hair growing up out of his head. Everything has been perfect until he's over here with big muscles. That's bodybuilder stick man right there, man. That's you got to pay extra for that.
Gotcha.
That's not how life works. What happens is that our lives are a never-ending series of heroes' journeys. So at any point, you could be at the low point, but as you're going through this, your low points are actually higher than your high points were previously in life. And so what we got to do is keep that perspective of where we are in this particular stage of a hero's journey in our arc of transformation from one tooth baby Stu to, stud man. So that's the thing, that if you have that big picture perspective and if you understand the process that we're all living that hero's journey every single day, you can understand, okay, I'm even if I'm down here, this is where I'm getting ready for my next breakthrough. This is where I'm getting ready for the next level. I use an example for myself. I mean, I've been having shoulder issues and stuff, and I kind of got stuck. I got stuck. And then I had a little come to Jesus with myself and said, you know what, I got to do something. What I'm doing ain't working. I could do something. Okay, I'm going to go get some massage therapy. And so I did my first one last week, did my second one today. My shoulder feels like a gajillion times better. And I'm realizing, okay, I'm going to do some things differently moving forward from here so it doesn't happen again. But it's okay. This is part of me moving to the next level physically for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, instead of, I'm never going to be able to work out ever again. My shoulder's going to hurt for the rest of my life, and it sucks, which was kind of the way I was acting there for, I don't know, a couple months. But once you've got that big picture perspective and you understand the cycle of failure and trying and other stuff, and it's not really failure. The only failure, so really, if you wanted, you could call this feedback, which is no more what I call it.
Yeah.
But feedback, the only way to fail is to stop. The only way to fail is to stop. And the last thing I want to say before I open this up for your thoughts and stuff is that this whole process is why you have people that will start out doing one thing, and then all of a sudden they're a motivational speaker at the end doing self-improvement, because they realize that the thing that they accomplished is so minuscule in importance compared to what they discovered about themselves as they went through the process, that they become an evangelist for the process of success rather than the process that they use to accomplish a tactical objective.
Nice.
So, anyway, there you go, Stu. There's test, fail, learn, improve, re-enter with Re-Energize / celebrate. Stuck right in there.
All right. I have a few things.
Okay, can I sit
First
down
of all,
or should I be?
Oh, you can sit down. First of all,
Oh.
Michael Hornsby nailed it because he saw it coming. Like 2 minutes before I even said the 5 words, he had already written test, fail, ... He read my mind. He's a mind reader like you. So and another way that people fail is they don't even try.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a big one. So that's another side of the equation. And after listening to this, Jim, I have to say it's a great title to call it the hero's journey, and we always have these hero's journeys, but you know what it really is?
What's
It
that?
is the psychology of goal achievement.
Ooh, I like that.
This is the psychology of goal achievement, plain and simple. You can call it, I mean, if you want to call it psychology of success, psychology of goal achievement, whatever. But it is what we have to endure every time we take on a new task.
Sure.
And it can be as minuscule as just updating your computer and putting, trying to figure out how to do a podcast.
Right.
I was definitely not in the gutter when I was going through that process, but I had beat my head a couple of times around all the different ways to do that until I finally figured out the right way to do this. And we found Zoom, and it was the easy street all the way through. So anyway, you can take this same methodology and apply it to all the little tasks that we have to do in life and in business just to be able to grow, to evolve, as well as to remain relevant in your business space.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. What else you got?
That's it.
I just grabbed psychologyofgoalachievement.com.
Oh,
look at me. Yeah, look at me. I'm getting that done while you were. That's why I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say? So Anna said, this is good, Jim Edwards. This is huge for me. Thank you. Wish I'd had this information 20 years ago, but I'm grateful I'm learning it now. I think you already knew it, Anna. We're just codifying it a little bit, but you would not have accomplished what you've done. Yeah, we're just
describing the obvious.
Whoa, I think we're doing a little more than that, but
no, I'm serious. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
So this is a obvious journey that everybody goes through multiple times in their life. And you're right. Some people get caught and they never move on. Some people flow through this like it's a learning experience and growth, and it's just easy. But I think the more we know this, I think we can face the inevitable failure / learning experience and embrace it, because it's going to turn around, at that point.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think it also it gives you a different measuring stick for what success is. It's like, as long as I'm improving, as long as I'm figuring this out, then I'm making progress. I'm winning. It's when I stop that I'm failing. So, and Carlin asks, and is perfection really to become complete going through this process / cycle? I don't think there is any perfection. It's, I think I don't know. Ooh, I like that. Idris says, I just had an epiphany. The greatest failure we have is not trying because we give ourselves a 0% chance of success. Ooh, I like that. That's good. I
tell you what's really interesting about the failure stage, and like I said, you can call it what you want. You can call it a learning experience. You can call it failure, however you want to define it. But really, it comes down to a moment where you are doubting the path you took.
Yeah.
Right. So you have this doubt of like, I don't think I'm on the right path. And a lot of people just turn back around and never do it again, or they figure out the path that fixes their journey and they get back on track.
Yeah, I think you can experience doubt anywhere along the line, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I really do. I mean, I think doubt can plague you. Oh my God.
Right
Oh
from the
my
start.
God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Is it working?
Oh my God. Oh my God. My head is hurting so bad. Here's the thing. In this case, remember I talk about the enemy in the hero's journey is here. There's I didn't put the enemy in here, but in a sales story, the enemy is in here in the pit of despair.
Sure.
And when it comes to this process, the enemy is doubt.
Yeah.
Doubt is down here in the pit wanting to smack you upside the head anywhere you are down here. Dude, that's it. I like it too. You could spin this BS into a book.
Oh,
I mean, golly, this whole representational model really could help people and is worthy of becoming a book-length publication, perhaps to share this value with a larger audience of people throughout the world in many languages. Under the banner of the psychology of goal achievement.com.
There you go.
That's pretty cool. I like that, though. I like doubt in the middle beating on you. Everywhere you go, doubt is the enemy. Oh, that's almost biblical. All right. I think we've beaten this one to death. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, good job on the surprise podcast topic.
Yeah, that was good, Stu. You did a good job there.
I redeemed myself from the beginning.
You did a great job.
Because I screwed up the beginning. We really need to take a moment before these things start and just say, here's what we're going to talk about.
Dude, come on. Don't put our business out in the street. Come on, man. So Carlin says, oh, snap, on the enemy being doubt. Yeah. That's whoa, that's good stuff. I need to keep playing with that one.
Yeah. And how do you get rid of doubt?
Action.
Action. Yep. Got to start. Yeah.
You go find another frame of reference. So one way to get rid of doubt is belief, by changing your beliefs, by looking at stuff you've done in the past or looking where other people were able to do what you have done. And then another way you banish doubt is through faith. And one of the fastest ways to develop faith is through gratitude, by being grateful for all the things you do have at your disposal and the people and the resources and everything, so that and where there is belief and there is faith, there's no room for doubt to enter. In case you were wondering, that's how you do it.
No, that's great. You went above and beyond what I was going to say, because I was going to say that, as you go through these challenges of life, you build up a certain level of confidence, right? Mm-hmm. And the level of confidence that you have, that kind of shuts down the doubt inner voice that can occur over time. And when you get that little voice of doubt, you say, listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Smack yourself whenever it even mentions doubt.
Vicky just said something. Doubt and fear are evil twins. I like that. I can have evil twins down in the pit.
Yeah,
Oh, and
that's what you got to get through, the evil twin.
Yeah, the fear is usually over here, and then the doubt starts creeping in once you start making progress. Oh, I like it. Good job, Vicky. So nice. Well, I don't know if we could do any more on that, Stu. So I think it's time for you, me, and Mr.
Pickles to say au revoir. That's French for see you, folks.
Nice.
Got any final words, Stu?
I do not, but some reason I knew you were going to speak French just a second ago.
So, okay,
Not
and
sure
Michael said one last thing. When we're talking about a sales story, the thing to remember is that in the end, your product your service, your coaching, your speaking, whatever it is the bridge across the chasm. Because everybody wants to hear about your hero's journey, but ain't nobody wants to live it. Okay? So you sell them a bridge across so they can avoid all this stuff. Or if they're already down in the pit, you use your product, your service, your speaking, your coaching, your software, whatever it is, as a ladder to climb up out of the pit and shorten the process.
Yep.
So,
show them the easy button, Jim.
That's right. Hit that easy button because that's what everybody wants to hit. And if I could spell easy,
you've endured the pit and you came out on the other end with the easy button.
That's right. The Echo Zulu button. So there you go. All right, everybody. That was a lot of fun. Great job, Stu. And we will see you next time. Appreciate everybody being with us. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, Susan, if you could throw the link in. Tomorrow, we're doing a special training at 1 o'clock. It's the 3 secrets. It's content marketing secrets and scripts training. And that is, I'll tell you what the cool secrets are that we're going to be going over. It's the content marketing scripts and secrets, how to get all of your stories, articles, blog posts, video scripts, and content marketing done and promoted on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, your blog, and more in as little as 10 minutes. Secret number 1, idea hacking, how to instantly tap an infinite supply of magnetic story and content ideas to drive your target audience wild with excitement. Secret number 2, Legos and Mad Libs can make you rich, how to use proven frameworks, blueprints, and patterns to get your own unique stories and content done in just minutes. And secret number 3, 0 to 100 miles per hour with content promotion, how every speaker, coach, or trainer can cut through all the online noise, attract the people you're called to serve, and leave all your competitors in the dust. And of course, do with everything we do and much, much more. So it is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Be there live. And no, it's tomorrow. It's not. Oh, crap.
Thursday.
Today's Wednesday. It's today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Susan. It's today. Go ahead. Say what you were saying before you were on camera. Go ahead.
It's today.
It's today. It's today. I'm
today.
sorry. It's today.
And he kept going, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
It's today. It's today. Sorry. Gosh. Golly.
And also next week is 10 a.m. as well.
Yeah, next week we're off. No, next week
right.
we're off. I'm on vacation next week.
Oh.
But pretty much we have moved this permanently to 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Just plan on 10 o'clock in the morning because I'm doing my I booked 8 weeks in a row for my shoulder.
Oh.
So anyway, it's today. Sorry. I kept thinking today was Tuesday. These days go by quick as you get a little age on you.
Yeah.
So
that daylight savings time's not helping.
Yeah. Okay. So it's today at 1 o'clock. So there you go. Thank you, Susan. You were saying something else besides today. You were.
I said it's today, not tomorrow. I didn't cuss you. Now I'll cuss you later.
I thought you were spicing up that description. It was blank today. Blank. It's blank today. Blank.
No, it's today at 1, not tomorrow at 1. You're gonna be upset if you show up tomorrow at 1 and the help desk will be full.
Sorry. Okay. Today at 1 o'clock. All right. Cool. Thank you, Susan. All right.
welcome.
We'll see y'all next time. Bye.